Hello YouTube and fellow DC Comic fans, I'm Kelly One Shot, and today we're going to talk about Batman number 70 from DC Comics, written by Tom King, with artwork by Mikhail Hannon and George from Oz. Okay, so we're in the middle of the Knightmares story arc, and in the last issue, Batman is trying to find a way to finally break out of these nightmares that Bane has Batman trapped under. And finally, he found a way to get out in the last issue, so he kind of breaks out of the machine. And as he's ripping the wires off, he hears a riddle being told to him that talks about a night watchman who warns his boss that he's going to die in a plane because he had it in a dream. And then the boss plane crashes and he's not in the plane, so then he gives the night watchman money, but then he fires him. And the Riddler asks Batman, why would the boss fire the night watchman who had a dream about the plane crashing and saving his life? Batman instantly he's not dealing with anybody's shit no more. He grabs the Riddler, he smashes his face in, and he says, the night watchman said he had a dream last night. He was sleeping on the job. And then we see Batman run into Calendar Man, and he talks about this being a familiar situation, getting out of Arkham, and that there's no progress. It's just another year. Yesterday becomes today as quick as today becomes yesterday. It's never done. You will never stop, and neither will Bane. Bang! Tune in tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. So we just have this little brief interaction with Calendar Man and Batman. He doesn't really take much to take Calendar Man out. I think they're referencing the Long Halloween in that story arc and saying that isn't this so familiar. But then we actually see Batman just kind of like decimating and just being really strong and dominant throughout this whole issue. He's beating up Killer Croc. He's beating up the Mad Hatter, one of the Man-Bats or whatever. And he's kind of like sending a message to Bane. He says, do you really think this was enough? Nightmares? Did you honestly believe that I would curl into a fetal ball? That I would lie down, rubbing my tears out of my eyes? That I'd cry out to my mommy? Is this your plan, Bane? After all the years of me humiliating you and exposing you as this soft, feeble-minded lamb, after me breaking you time and time again, you come at me with bad dreams? Do you know what my life is? Do you have any conception of what I've gone through? How many I've lost? How many I've hurt? You challenge me with nightmares? I live the nightmares, Bane. You can't understand. I'm Batman. I am the nightmare. And throughout this whole scene, as Batman's saying that, he's just wrecking villain after villain. He's just mowing them down. Black Spider, and then he ends up running into Mr. Freeze. And Mr. Freeze at this point is scared because Batman's already easily made light work of all of these rogues that have been sent at him as he's trying to escape the bottom of Arkham Asylum. And he just tells Freeze, he's like, hey man, you're a man of science. Think about how many times we've gone through this situation, how many times you tried to shoot me with a nice gun, how many times I had something, whatever it was, boom, I took you down, you went down. You ever consider that this is a waste of time, scientifically speaking? Then boom, this is easier, knocks Freeze out. This is great because Batman's kind of been like docile and trapped in these dreams, and now he's just woke up and he's pissed and he's just going fierce and he's just mowing through the competition because he's mad, and he's sending a challenge out to Bane and letting him know that, you know, he means business here. We actually then see the ventriloquist who is talking to Bane, and he's telling him that Freeze has been taken down and that Scarecrow is next. They're kind of talking about things, about being a puppet and what it feels like, and Bane's pretty much using all of these other villains as puppets to impart his ultimate plan, which isn't still fully laid out yet, but this is just one step in it. These nightmares and this challenge of getting Batman through Arkham, and he has to know Batman's going to make his way through. Batman then says, I know you hear me. I can smell you, Crane. I can smell fear. And then Crane shoots out his gas, and the room just fills up with gas, and then Crane's trying to like scare Batman. He's like, it was your formula. You've taken enough that would make you panic like a herd of elephants. As your doctor, I advise you to lay down. Your formula, they pumped it into me. Batman's talking to Crane now at this point. He says that you pumped your formula into me, and he owes it to you that you gave him insight, because he mentioned in previous issues that he's taken all of Crane's different formulas and he knows different triggers for his body to try to break the trances, and that's how he introduced, like, he went to his deepest fears, which brought like adrenaline into his body, which woke him up and broke the toxin of the particular fear gas, and that's what he's mentioning here. So he's like, thanks for the insight, thanks for helping me out. And he's putting fear into Jonathan Crane, into the Scarecrow, and he's like, "Cool, you better surrender, man." And Batman's like, "I owe you for all the fun." And then boom, he just takes Crane out. It's dope because Batman's just running house through Arkham. He goes through Grundy and Amugadawa, or whatever, however you pronounce it, and he just takes these two powerhouses, boom, cracks his knuckles. Batman ends up on the ground, sure, but they end up just decimated, and Batman's just like, ha, and then he runs into Harvey Dent / Two-Face, and half of Harvey's like, "Please, man, I surrender." And then the Two-Face half is like, "You worthless, asinine, pathetic nothing, touch me again, and I'll kill you." And then Batman, boom, just cracks him up. And he's like, "I always liked you, Harvey. I could trust you, so I'm gonna trust you now. I want you to deliver a message for me. It's a favor. Can you do that for me, Harvey?" And Batman's just being very intimidating, holding Harvey Dent up to the wall, smashing him against the wall. And he's like, "I'm talking to Harvey, not Two-Face. I want you to tell your master, Bane. Tell him I wish today we could have talked. I would have loved to have talked. But guess what? I just woke up and I'm a little tired, so I'm going home. My home, in my city. But tomorrow I'm coming back with an army. And then, tell me, Harvey, tell Bane, tomorrow." Batman's got Harvey in a very intimidating situation. He's letting him know, "Yo, man, I'm going home. I'm coming back. This isn't over yet. And we're going to squash you, bro. I'm going to have an army, whatever it takes." Batman leaves the asylum, and we're kind of left with that at the end. And Batman's ready for war at this point. So that's pretty cool. That's Batman number 70 in a nutshell. I thought it was pretty good, pretty simple, to the point, straightforward. Batman was a badass. He didn't take no prisoners. He was just smashing foe after foe, and he was delivering solid dialogue. And we didn't have Naked Bane like we had last time, so that's always cool. Either way, I'm Kelly One Shot. Take care, have a great day, and goodbye!